श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन् नूतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ श्रीशङ्कराचार्यस्वामिने नमः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
लक्ष्मी बीवी भगिनी।
Yes. Shraddha Vallabhate Jnanam.
Start with nahi jnanena sadrusham.
Oh, sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvaya yoga samsiddhaha kalenatmani vindati.
Next.
के ललिता भगिनी।
नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते।
श्रद्धा वाल्लभते ज्ञानं तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानलब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति।
अनुपमा भट्ट भगिनी।
अज्ञश्च श्रद्धधानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परः न सुखं संशयात्मनः।
Good.
श्रीमती भगिनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
योगसंन्यस्तकर्माणं ज्ञानसञ्चिन्न संशयम् आत्मवन्तन्न कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय।
विजयलक्ष्मी आर भगिनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतं हृदस्तज्ञानास्तिनात्मनः चित्वैनं संशयैयोऽहम् अतिष्ठोतिष्ठ भारत।
It's hritsam. Hritsam.
Hritsam.
Now, hridayam. Hrit means hridayam or heart. Stam is, station, or it is established in the heart. Hrit stam.
Hristam.
Yeah. Like Stita Prajna, we use sta, no? Stanam. So it is all primarily station. The station word itself is derived only from sta. So stambam. Stambam is the one that is station. Hristam. Hristam is established in the heart. Okay. Hru is heart. Hristam.
Hritsam.
Yeah. Can you repeat again?
Yes. तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतं हृत्संज्ञानासितात्मनः चित्वैनं संशयैयोगम् आतिष्ठोतिष्ठ भारत.
Yeah, I heard it as jnana sinatmanah. I heard it as jnana sitatma, something like that. So can you repeat it again? The first line only.
तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतं
Jnanasinatmanah. Jnanasinatmanah.
हृत्संज्ञानासिनात्मनः.
Correct. Okay.
कृष्ण पावनी भगिनी।
ते महोदय।
Namaste.
ॐ तत् सन्तीति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
So we have successfully been able to complete the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We have done 204 slokas out of 700 slokas. Almost 29% of the slokas of Bhagavad Gita, we have been able to have a chanting as well as understanding the high level meaning of that. So today we'll go to the fifth chapter. It's called Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Okay. Before going to the fifth chapter, I'll just give a quick recap up to the fourth chapter, because I just want to ensure that we don't lose track of the flow of Bhagavad Gita. So I will try to quickly touch upon what is that has been taught by Bhagavan in the three chapters from second chapter onwards. First chapter, all know, is primarily context setting. The context setting is that they all had assembled for the war in Kurukshetra, and both the sides were there. Arjuna came with all enthusiasm to fight in the war and get over the rightful kingdom that Pandavas were due. But when he saw the people lined up on both the sides, he was not able to fight because he felt that he is going to be doing injustice by killing his own people, his own families, his own acharyas, then all his friends, also now friends from the neighboring kingdoms who are assembled there for on either side of the thing. So he realized that it's going to be a kind of a disaster for the entire known people that he has got just because he's getting into the war. So he was not able to take up the fighting, and he also had a lot of other thought processes that all the men folks will die, then the entire varnas will get damaged, then the women will all get into some trouble, and then even pitrus will not be offered the pintam. All those kinds of thoughts came. So if you look at now, because we have learned Bhagavad Gita up to fourth chapter, all these things are called moha. Moha means wrong understanding. So all these things, moha yes evame, I think Bhagavan says in the second chapter, moha. Moha means a wrong understanding. So whatever he was having at that point in time is all moha, improper understanding of things. And then in the second chapter, when it started, Arjuna said that I am absolutely not in a position to take up the fighting. Guru Nahatvanu Mahanubhavan Sheyo Bhoktum Vaikshamavihe Loke. He said, I can even go beg and then eat. That itself is going to give you much better Shreyas than Guru Nahatva, instead of killing my own gurus, etc. What happens is Bunjiya Bohan Rudra Pradiktan. If I start eating that food or enjoying that particular kingdom, after killing them, it's all stained with blood. So he said that I will not be able to do that. But nevertheless, Bhagavan Krishna, he doesn't know that it was Lord Krishna, or he may know perhaps. But as of now, it was only Mr. Krishna and Arjuna talking. He told, but I am not able to do anything. Yashya Bruhi Richitam Tanme. You tell me what is going to provide me Shreyas. Shadi Mam Tvam Prapandam. I am surrendering to you. That's what he told. In the second chapter, in the first 10 slokas, he said that I am afflicted with that kind of feeling inside myself. I am not able to take any action. I am just surrendering to you. You please tell me what is that I need to do. But at that point in time, when he surrendered to Lord Krishna and asking him to provide him with some advice of what he should do, his thought was primarily in terms of the kind of massacre that is going to take place of the people who are known very much to him. So Bhagavan understood that Arjuna's primary problem was killing of people that is involved, which is really affecting him. So from the sloka 11 onwards to sloka 30 in the second chapter, he was talking about the nature of Atma. Okay, so if you recollect, you'll find that he talked everything about Atma. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram japuram jara tata dehantara prapti dhiratatra mukyadi. So like the way Dehi nosmin yatha dehe, for this kind of a body which has been given to us, like the way it has got a kaumaram yavaram jara, like it has got a body, has got youth, then adulthood, then it becomes old, then it falls, all these things happen. Tata, in the same way, there is also a dehantara prapti. It also will get another new body. So he had a lot of such slokas. Vasam se jirnani yatha vihaya. How the way we shed off our old clothes and wear a new cloth. Like that, the inner divinity is there. He was talking about Atma. Atma will be able to get a new, like the way we have a new cloth, Atma is going to have a new body. You don't have to worry about it. So he was talking about the Lakshanas of Atma up to the 30th sloka. But his idea was to first tell him the Lakshanas of Atma, because he was initially worried that he's killing all the people and everybody is going to get perished and he's going to miss all the people. So Bhagavan said, nobody dies. Nobody is not going to be there in the future. Nobody was not there in the past also. Nobody is not going to be in the future also. Natvevaham jatunasam natmum neve janadipa. All these people were there in the past. They are now also there. They will also be in the future. That is all the other slokas that we studied in the second chapter. After telling him that Atma is not destructible, it is only the body that falls. Whether you are going to kill or not, one day the body is going to fall. So don't get any kind of delusion. Don't have a moga. Initially, he wanted to drive away that kind of a doubt that Arjuna had. Then he slowly wanted to make him act at that particular point in time. So he slowly told that as a Kshatriya, you have got to fight. Only by fighting, you will be able to get Swargadvaram, Apavrutam, you will be able to get to the thing in the sloka. Your Swadharma Chabe. If you look at from your Swadharma also, you as a Kshatriya, you have to do. In that fighting also, if you lose also, there is no problem. Still, you will get Swarga. As per the Dharma Shastras, even if Dharma Yuddha is there, even if somebody loses their life, they are confirmed to have a place in the Swarga. So Bhagavan tells all those things for around 10 slokas. After the Atma, he starts talking about 10 or 15 slokas, telling him that he has got to take up. But Sukha Dukke Same Bhutva Lava Lavo Jaya Javo Tasmat. He says that whatever is going to result of this, because you have to act now, please do that and do all those kinds of things. So he started the Karma Yoga in the second chapter itself, and he said, Karmanye Vadikaraste Ma Padeshu Kadachana, all those things he said that you have got only the right to do things. Do not worry about the outcome of this war, etc. You have to do this, please go ahead. That's what he had told him. The second chapter itself, he told him that you please take up the war and do that. Then Arjuna told what is Stita Prajna. He just changed the gear. From Atma, it came to Karma Yoga. Then he wanted to know what Stita Prajna. Stita Prajna is a Jnani. A Jnani is a person who is always established himself. Atmanye Atmana Tuttaha. He is the person like that. So Bhagavan also took time to explain to him that Jnani is a person who is beyond all these things. He knows that he is not a Karta. He is a person who knows that the divinity in him is known and he is not bothered about anything in the external world of objects. So he started talking about Lakshanas of Stita Prajna for some 10 slokas or so. And he thought that he has now completed the job of explaining to Arjuna that it is now time for you to fight. So he was expecting Arjuna to take the bow and arrow and fight. But what Arjuna did, he did not take the bow and arrow at the end of the second chapter. He said, Jayasi Chet Karmanaste. Mata Buddhir Janatana, Tatyam Karmani Gore Ma Niyojese Keshavas. He started the third chapter. If you say that jnana is very, very important than karma, then why are you asking me to do this karma? So he started asking the question on this particular aspect, because Bhagavan had told Siddha Prajna, that is the ultimate goal of life, the pursuit of life, of human life, is to get jnana and get liberated. That he had told in second chapter. So he latched on to that. And then he said, why should I now fight? Then I am getting again Vyamishcheneva Vakyena. You are giving contradictory information. Okay. Mohaya Sivame, you are trying to, it appears as though you are confusing me. So Tadekam Badanishchitya, you tell me one thing, whether I should follow Karma Yoga or to take to sannyasa. So Bhagavan thought that he has completed his job in the second chapter itself. Gita is over, but he started the third chapter, Karma Yoga. So Bhagavan said, okay, I need to explain to him Karma Yoga. So he started talking about the Karma Yoga and what is the attitude of Karma Yoga. And the attitude is not with a selfish intention. Attitude is that we need to look at everything. Annad Bhavanti Bhutani, Parjanyad Anna Sambhavaha, all those kinds of things. He was telling about that your Loka Sangrahamevapi, your intention should be that you are going to be not driven by your selfish desire, but it has got to be for taking care of a world at large, which has been created by me. Whatever has been sustained for billions and millions of years, the same thing, you are only in a small window. It is your responsibility to ensure that it is sustained. So for that, what is your duty? You have to do it. But do not put karma, you do not put the results of action in front and take up any action. So he was explaining to him all about the role of karma and karma yoga. He said that you need to have karma yoga as the attitude and then do the things. And in the third chapter itself, Bhagavan also tells two things. If everybody as a human, in a human pursuit, there are only 4 purusharthas. That is, Artha, Kama, Purushartham, what is that? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. These are the 4 purusharthas available. These are, if you look at the pursuit of life, pursuit of why we have taken a human life, there are only 4 different paths you can have: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So we discuss about these 4 things also. So when you look at it from the perspective of the actual human life, Dharma, Artha, Kama is all worldly involvement. You are going to be in a samsaram, you are going to be interacting with the world, and then because of that you earn papas and punyas. That is going to decide about the future life. So that is the kind of cycle of samsara that is going to go ahead. Moksha is the only thing for which you need to aspire for. The purpose of the human life is moksha. For moksha, he said there are only 2 paths available. The 2 paths are, one is a karma yoga, is one lifestyle. Through karma yoga, you have antakarna chutti. Then you get the jnana. Once you get the jnana, you get liberated. So that is one path. Second path is that you can perhaps renounce doing karmas and then take up to only understanding Vedanta as a sannyasi. And then you again have to get the same knowledge, because knowledge is very, very important, and then you will be able to get liberated. So when you look at it from the perspective of liberation, liberation can take place to an individual only through jnana. Jnana can be by karma yoga. All the samsaris who cannot give up their day-to-day life, day-to-day responsibilities in a family-like situation, we need to continue with karma yoga attitude and do our responsibilities for the family, for the society, for the state, for the world, for the nature. We have to do our duty. Okay, kartrutvam, whatever is there, we have to do it at that situation that is throwing up. Life is throwing up situations. In that situation, we need to do a action, so that the action, and also remember, the actions are not going to be driven by a personal agenda. So you have to do this kind of an action. So that is karma yoga. That is going to provide you with antakarna chutti, and that will provide you with jnana. The other one is called sannyasa. By taking sannyasa, somebody will be able to dedicate his entire time for only understanding this jnana and then get liberated. The sannyasis, what do? They give up all their responsibilities, worldly responsibilities they give up, and then they take to sannyasa, and then they are able to get into the moksha. So for moksha or liberation, there are only 2 paths. We have to understand that. One is karma yoga, the other one is sannyasa. Okay. So now coming to, so that is what he was explaining the entire 3rd chapter. The 4th chapter, he was talking about Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga means renunciation of action through knowledge. That is the meaning of that. That means a person is a karma yogi, but as a karma yogi, he is able to get jnana. Once he is able to get the jnana or enlightenment, knowing the self, he is able to give up all the karmas or burn all the karmas. Okay, then he knows that he is an akarta, he is not the doer. Okay, self is not the doer. He has realized the self. Self is not the doer. The doing is done only with the body, mind, sense complex. So he is not the doer, and he has got that kind of a situation where he may be continuing to be in this worldly life, but he is not going to be impacted by the karmas that he is doing. And with the jnana, even sanchita karmas will get burnt. And because of prarabdha karma, he may continue as a jivan mukta, and one day the body also will fall, and then he is going to realize himself and then go on. So that is what we learned. If you look at that way, King Janaka himself was a karma sannyas, jnana karma sannyasi only. He was in the worldly life. He never took up sannyasa. He was in the worldly life, but he is a jnana karma sannyasi in the sense that he has given up all his karmas by jnana. Jnanatni daddha karmana. For him, everything is gone. But he was in a worldly life, ensuring, taking care of his family, taking care of requirements of Rama when he was in trouble. He was managing the entire kingdom. He was doing everything, but doing responsibilities, but with a very clear attitude of karma yoga. Is the greatest example that every one of the Vedantic scriptures take. One of the big people they take is Janaka, in terms of person who was living in the world and taking up the role of a sannyasi, but he is not an actual sannyasi wearing a awkward role. Okay, so that was what we discussed about jnana karma sannyasa yoga, which we have completed. So if you look at the previous shloka, okay, this some of the things we had talked about. This is very important. Yoga sannyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam atmavantam. So these three things he said are very important, which will not bind you with the karmas that you are doing. What is this? Yoga sanyasta karmanam. That is having a knowledge and then giving up whatever actions that you are doing because you know that you are a akarta. So that understanding is yoga sanyasta karma. Through the attitude of karma yoga, giving up the sanya, giving up sanyasta karmanam, giving up all the karmas that you have done with knowledge is one thing. Yoga Sanyata Karmanam. That is what was the thing that we talked about, the entire fourth chapter, which was Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Then Jnana Sinchanna Samshayam. Because there's a doubt, always there's a doubt whether I will be able to find out myself, whether Atma is there. All these kinds of doubts will be there. But once you are able to have Jnana, the doubt is continuous, the doubt is erased. Samshayam is doubt, Jnana Sanchinna, that can be taken out. And Atmavantam, when you are able to keep all your body mind complex under control, then the karmas will not bind you. Karmani na nibatnanti. So these three things he was talking in the concluding chapters, concluding verses, slokas of the fourth chapter. Then tasmat ajnana sambhutam tutstam jnanasinatmanah. So whatever that ajnana, ignorance that anybody is having, with the jnana, you take the sword of jnana, then chitvainam, then slay the doubt that you have, okay, with karma yoga. With karma yoga, you are able to have this kind of mental makeup, and with the jnana, you take the sword and then destroy the doubt that you are having in your mind. And atishta, take up, uttishta, get up, bharata. So now also Bhagavan said, he was thinking that, well, my job is over, Bhagavad Gita is over, because I told him everything about karma yoga and jnana yoga. And again, he is telling him, you please take it up, you give up, you take up, and then Uttishta Bharata. When he says Uttishta Bharata and take up, what does it mean? In the war field, it says that you are supposed to now start fighting, my dear Arjuna. Enough of talk has been over. We have done so much of talking, enough of done has been done. Please start taking up the bow and arrow and fight. Okay, that's what now Bhagavan has told, and then he has closed the fourth chapter, which is the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Okay, so this is the summary that I thought we should have in perspective before we go to the next chapter. Now I'll have to take 1 minute to open up the other PDF file. Just hold on with me. In the meantime, if you have any kind of doubts, you can tell me. Is all okay so far?
In the end, we can, this is you, end of the session, we can have interactive session, Mahodaya.
No, but I thought this is required before. Don't have interaction now. I think I just wanted to give a kind of overview before we go to the next thing, next chapter.
Super, sir.
Yeah, we'll discuss it at the end of the chapter, class. Huh? Just give me a minute. Screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mahodaya. Yes.
Okay, so we'll now go to the fifth chapter. And okay, this is not in the PowerPoint mode, so there could be some challenge, but anyhow, we'll take few slokas in this. Okay, yeah, we can start.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Panchamodhyayah Karma Sannyasa Yogaha.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः कर्मसन्न्यासयोगः
Yes, be there. Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna.
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण
Punaryogam cha shamsasi.
पुनर्योगं च शंससि पुनर्योगं च शंससि
Sannyasam karmanam Krishna. Punaryogam cha shamsasi.
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संस्यसि सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संस्यसि
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bagini.
Yes.
Yachstreyayetayorekam.
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम्
Tanme bruhi sunishchitam.
तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
Yachstreyayetayorekam. Tanme bruhi sunishchitam.
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
Next.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna. Punaryogam cha shamsasi.
Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha Shansasi. Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha Shansasi.
Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Yachstreyayetayorekam. Tanme bruhi sunishchitam.
यच्छ्रेयम् एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
Good. Next.
Veena Fani Shri Bagini.
First line 2 times.
नमस्ते महोदय
Namaste.
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संससि सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संससि
Next.
Sri Lakshmi Bagini.
Second line 2 times.
Second line, sir.
Yeah.
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
Etayor ekam. Etayor means among the two. Etayor ekam, etayor ekam. Second.
Shall I repeat, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
Yeah. Next.
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
Good. Next.
Lalita Ramachandran Bagini.
We chant the entire sloka once, starting from Arjuna Uvacha.
Yes, ma'am.
अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संशसि यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini.
All the three.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini. Okay, Usha Srinivasan Bagini.
नमस्ते महोदय. अर्जुनोवाच सन्न्यासकर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्.
Next.
Shanti Badri Bagini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यश्रेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्.
Next.
Lakshmi Devi Bagini.
Arjuna uvacha sannyasaṁ karmaṇaṁ Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam.
Next.
Srimati Bagini.
Yes, sir. Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam.
Krishna Pavani Bagini.
अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यच्छ्रेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्.
Good. So we'll go to the meaning of this. So when you look at karma sannyasa yoga, primarily the earliest chapter was jnana karma sannyasa yoga. That means renunciation of actions through jnana. Till such time a person has got the knowledge, he was of the opinion that he was the doer, right? He was the doer. But after getting the knowledge, he was able to understand the self, that self is an akarta, and that knowledge he was able to burn away all the karmas. And secondly, that was primarily a person has gained knowledge after being a karma yogi, after practicing karma yogi, and also going to a teacher and then understanding from him and having upadesha from him and then getting a jnana. So the route that he has taken to gain knowledge has been karma yoga. So third chapter and fourth chapter have been together able to talk about karma yoga as the most important lifestyle that one can have for moksha. Moksha is the ultimate goal of life, liberation. So karma yoga was taught, and karma yoga oriented actions and how to gain knowledge was taught, and what is the effect of getting knowledge is also taught in this thing. Then jnana karma sannyasa, as I told, is a renunciation of actions through knowledge. That was it done. So now when we look at it from the perspective of moksha, there are only two lifestyles. Okay. When you look at sannyasa, there are two different sannyasas possible. I think we have discussed it in the second chapter. One is called a vidvat sannyasa. The other one is called vividisha sannyasa. Vidvat sannyasa is a person who has been able to gain knowledge himself, understand his self, and then understand that there's absolutely nothing else that is required in life, and he wants to take an orange robe and go. Okay, he takes a sannyasa. He is a vidvat sannyasa. So if you look at a vidvat sannyasa, most of the vidvat sannyasas would have, I would say not most, all the vidvat sannyasas would have first gained the knowledge. They would have been a karma yogi, as being a karma yogi, they have gained the knowledge and then they take up sannyasa. Okay, which means that some people like Janaka might have decided not to take a sannyasa, but he is a karma yogi and he has gained knowledge. Somebody will say, now enough, I am not going to do any more of actions, no more responsibilities for me in life. I am a realized person. I am fine with myself. Atmanye Atmanatuttaka, he can take up sannyasa and go. So for him also, what was that? Between karma yoga and karma sannyasa, there was no choice. He had done both. He had done karma. So he had done karma yoga as the means for getting a jnanam, and then he has gone. So with sannyasa. So that is one. The other one is vividisha sannyasa, where somebody decides that he will not do anything. He will not take any responsibility in the society. He will not be taking responsibility of family. He will not get married. He will not be working in a company. He does not want to have a bank account. He wants to give up everything, but he does not have knowledge. He says that I got some understanding that purpose of this is only going to be knowledge. So I am going to devote myself without thinking about rest of the responsibilities. I want to go to an ashram, find a teacher, and devote my entire time only for getting knowledge. He's a sannyasi who goes with the orange robe, but he has still not gained the knowledge. Okay. So what is now what has he done? He has given up his actions. Okay, that is karma sannyasa. That person has not got jnana. He has just given up his actions and become a sannyasi. Okay, so this particular chapter is talking about sannyasa only. A sannyasa means he is giving up all his actions because the other person is jnani. If you look at it, if you look at jnana karma sannyasi is already a jnani, whereas this person is a sannyasi. A sannyasi is still not a jnani. So there are only two lifestyles: karma yoga as lifestyle and sannyasa as a lifestyle. And this chapter is now dedicated to sannyasa yoga. So that is one thing that we need to talk. The other thing is that in this sloka, what is that Arjuna is telling to Krishna? Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punar yogam cha shamsasi. Shamsasi is praising. So he says, Krishna, you talked about giving up. Sannyasa is very important. Once you get he is not talking about jnana in this. If you look at Arjuna's words, no, he does not talk about jnana. He says that he is only catching up onto sannyasam. So he says you give up all the kinds of actions, and then that is what is sannyasa. And then you are also telling me that you were praising all those things earlier because he told jnana vidakta karmanam, then atmamantam, chinnatvainam, all those things we learned in last few slokas. No, he has praised, Bhagavan has praised jnana so much. So he is not looking at jnana the end, but he is now looking at sannyasam the mean. Okay, and he has only latched on to that. He says, Bhagavan, you were talking about sannyasam in a very, very highly praiseworthy manner. And then you are also again talking about punar yogam. You are also talking about karma yoga. You are praising both. But now you tell me, Yadishreya, Yetayo Rekam, Yetayo, among these two, which is Shreyas, which is superior, which is the one which is going to give me moksha, Tad me bruhi. You please tell me that, Sunishchitam. You only tell me that. He had made the same question to Bhagavan in the third chapter beginning. Jayasi chet karmanaste masabutir janardana tatyam karmani goremam niyojisi keshava. He said that if jnana is important, why are you asking me to do the karma? So now after listening to all these things, he is putting it in another way. Now he is asking the same question. Sannyasam karmanam krishna punar yogam cha shamsasi. Just stay among these two again you tell me one. He had already told him, but he is again asking the question. And Arjuna will again ask the same question in a different word in the 12th chapter. He will again ask the same question again in the 18th chapter. He is not going to leave this. Bhagavan has been continuously telling him that two lifestyles only. You please take up this. Your lifestyle, you have to take up the bow and arrow and fight. That's what he's telling. But he is not leaving. He started the 5th chapter. He will go on up to 11th chapter, 12th chapter. Again, he asks the same question. Again, he's going to ask the same question in 18th chapter also. Okay. So it is all going to go on like that. So here he is again telling between sannyasa and karma yoga, both of which you have praised, which is the one that is going to provide me strayas, or which is the one that is superior. Yat straya, whichever is superior, that only you tell me. But he does not understand that sannyasam requires maturity of mind. Arjuna does not understand that sannyasam requires contemplative mind, a maturity of mind. So many years, Krishna and Arjuna have been living together. Krishna was available for Arjuna. Available for Arjuna. Arjuna has never talked in these kinds of spiritual thing. He was only having different kinds of discussions. Though Krishna is capable of providing with his knowledge, he had never bothered. Suddenly, at this point in time, his question about sannyasa was to give up his responsibilities of doing. He's running away from a problem. There are some people, when they are given a big task, they'll take leave and sit in the house. They just feel that today I'm finding fever. I'm just telling a joke in a very low level of things. But here, this fellow does not want to take up the responsibility, and then he feels that sannyasa, he can give up his responsibility, and then he can go away. But sannyasa, he has got to understand. He has not understood. Sannyasa requires a contemplative mind and matured mind, which Arjuna does not have now. One. Secondly, at this point in time, it is not for him to run away from the battlefield. It is his responsibility that he has got to fight. He has got to ensure that he takes care of everybody. So he also says, Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Chaptara. We have read that in the second chapter. You please establish yourself in yoga. Yoga has established in karma yoga. Kuru Karmani, do what is to be done. Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Chaptva Dhananjaya. Do not get attached to what you are doing, but you have to do, act as the situation warrants. Do not run away. But what now our friend Arjuna is trying to do is, he wants to just run away because he does not want to still fight with them, which means that his moha that he has had, understanding that he had about wrong understanding, has still not gone away, despite the 3 chapters of teaching by Lord Krishna. So he is asking only, tell me one which is going to be good. But he is not looking at sannyasa, preparators for sannyasa. He is looking at sannyasa from running away from responsibility. Okay. Now we'll go to the second sloka. So I'm sorry, I don't have a PowerPoint slide. So there could be some jumbling, etc. Do not worry about that.
K. Lalita Bagini.
Yeah. You look at the bottom portion. Huh?
Okay, sir.
Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Sannyasa karma yogascha.
Sannyasa karma yogascha. Sannyasa karma yogascha.
Nishteyasa karavubhau.
Nishreyasa karavubhau. Nishreyasa karavubhau.
Sannyasa karma yogascha. Nishteyasa karavubhau.
Sannyasa karma yogascha. Nishreyasa karavubhau. Sannyasa karma yogascha. Nishreyasa karavubhau. Is this splitting correct, sir?
Yeah.
Nishreyasa.
Karavubhau, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anupama Bhatt Bagini.
Tayostu karma sannyasat.
तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात्
Karma-yogo vishishyate.
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते
Tayostu karma sannyasat. Karma-yogo vishishyate.
तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते.
Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bagini.
Sannyasah karma-yogascha. Nishteyasa karavubhau.
Sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyasa karavubhau. Sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyasa karavubhau.
Next.
Vijay Lakshmi R Bagini.
Tayostu karma sannyasat. Karma-yogo vishishyate.
तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते.
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bagini.
First line 2 times.
Sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyasakaravubhau. Sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyasakaravubhau.
Good. Next.
Veena Fani Shri Bagini.
Second line 2 times.
तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते.
Next.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
Both the lines together. From Shri.Bhagavan Uvacha, all the 2 lines.
Shri.Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishraye Sakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
That is Nishreyasa Karavubhau.
Nishraya Sakaravubhau.
Nishreyasa Karavubhau.
Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreya Sakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bagini.
Yes, sir. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishraye Sakaravubhau.
Nishreyasa. Shreyas is providing you with the ultimate moksha. This is going to provide the best among the 2.
Nishreyasa Sakaravubhau.
Nishreyasa Karavubhau. Shreyasa.
Nishreya Sakaravubhau.
Nishreyasa. Shreyas ta சொன்னோம் இல்லையா? Nishreyasa Karavubhau.
Sakaravubhau. Okay. Sorry, sir. Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Sakaravubhau.
Nishreyasa Karavubhau. No 2s, no 2 sas there. Nishreyasa Karavubhau.
Nishreyasa Karavubhau.
Ubhau, I just tell for everybody's thing. Ubhau is a very, very commonly used Sanskrit word. Ubhau means among the 2. Tayoho, Ubhau means among the 2. That is the kind of artha. So Ubhau means Nishteyasa Kara Ubhau means among or both. Okay, Ubhau is both. Okay, it is taken care of 2. Here he is talking about sannyasa and karma yoga. So Ubhau has come, both. So here I just give you the meaning. Bhagavan says sannyasa, karma yoga cha, which is sannyasa and karma yoga. Both of them are capable of providing moksha. Nishreyasa Karavubhau. Both sannyasa and karma yoga are capable of taking you to moksha. That is the meaning of the first line. Sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyasa karavubhau. Go ahead.
Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Visishyate.
Next.
Sri Lakshmi Bagini.
All the 3 lines.
Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreya Sakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
Next.
Shanti Badri Bagini.
Start from Shri.Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri.Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
Good. Next.
Lalita Ramachandran Bagini. Lalita Ramachandran Bagini. Okay. Kashmira Bagini.
श्रीभगवानुवाच सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते.
Next, one more person.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
One more person.
Krishna Pavani Bagini.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
Okay, good. So we'll go to the meaning of this. So Arjuna again asked a question. Sannyasam karmanam krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yat shreya yeteyorvekam. He was specifically asking him, tell me only one among these two which is supposed to be good. Yadu shreya yeteyoho. Yeteyoho means among these two, ekam. Yadu shreya tadu me bruhi. Only that you tell me. Definitely sunishchitam. That's what he told. So Bhagavan said, sannyasa karma yoga, both. Karma yoga, cha means and. Sannyasa as well as karma yoga, both of them are capable of providing you with shreyas. Nishreyasa karau. So they both will be able to provide you shreyas. Ubhav means they will lead to, both will lead to shreyas. So sannyasa and karma yoga are both capable of leading a person to moksha.
What is Nishriya?
Yeah.
What is Nishriya?
Shreya means that is, it is always like an adjective. Good Shreyas. Okay. The Nishreya means liberation only. See, it's again, it's only a kind of an adjective. What do you call the adjective used there? You don't have to worry about it. Both of them are capable of providing you with Shreyas. Both of them are capable of providing you with liberation. Tayos two, however, among the two, karma sannyasat, rather than giving up and taking up sannyasam, karma yoga vishichyate. He says that karma yoga is definitely superior than a sannyasa. Karma sannyasa means renouncing action. Now we are not talking about jnana karma sannyasa. After gaining knowledge, renouncing action is different thing, because the person has got knowledge, and then based on knowledge he says he knows that he is not the doer. Self is same, Brahman is same in me, with everywhere, everything he understands. Then he is giving up action. Jnana karma sannyasa is different. But karma sannyasa is just giving up actions, no? He says that is in no way superior to karma yoga. He says karma sannyasat, out of karma, with respect to karma sannyasam, that is sannyasa, karma sannyasat, karma yoga vishishyate. Karma yoga is only good. That is the best thing that I recommend. He is very clear. Bhagavan has told Arjuna very, very clearly, karma yoga is the route that is good for him. Okay. Why does he say that? He says that because karma yoga, sannyasa requires lot of preparation. Okay. Unless otherwise a person is fully prepared. What is full preparation? He has got to come out of raga dveshas. First of all, a person should be able to come out of raga dveshas. Is a sannyasi able to overcome his raga dveshas at the time of learning jnana? We don't know. So Bhagavan is very clear that you do karma yoga. From karma yoga, you try to overcome kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, all these things, dvesha, icha, dvesha, all these things, you come out of it first. You first have a contemplative maturity out of karma yoga attitude, wherein you are going to be in the worldly affairs and you are able to continuously improve yourself in terms of how you are going to react to the world, overcome all those things. Then you get jnana, that is better, rather than not even getting experience. And then there are some people who don't have any experience, but they want to become Prime Minister of India also. Okay, what will they do? They have no experience. Whereas a person who has undergone the rigor and then he is able to do, they will be able to do a much better job. No, so you have to look at it from that perspective also. People cannot take a shortcut. Some people say that they can just take an orange robe and become a sannyasi. Bhagavan is so critical of that. He says that no, karma yoga is the thing that is better than just taking sannyasa and wearing akar robe and going to Rishikesh. He has been very, very clear in telling that. So, which means that a person has got to have a maturity, a person should have a contemplativeness, a person should be able to also have a capability of taking sannyasa. I can tell you, for example, even 10 days residential camp in some ashramam, if you go there from morning to evening, you go and then attend a 10-day camp, leaving beside all your thing that you have been doing so far in life becomes challenging for people. I have gone to a few camps myself. I know there are a lot of challenges involved. They'll be sitting in the class, a phone call will come, then bank fellow will ask something, he'll call up his wife. No, they are continuously a samsaris. So even for 10 days, they are not able to cut off themselves from the worldly activities. Okay. So how is a person who is not fully prepared mentally and having the capability of contemplativeness and maturity able to take up sannyasa and then go into some place only for reading? He says that it is possible, but karma yoga is better. So that is what is the understanding that we need to have from what Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna. So Arjuna is being told by Bhagavan that he cannot take sannyasa. My dear Arjuna, don't take sannyasa. Only karma yoga is better. Okay. Now, next.
Lakshmi Bibi Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini.
Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi.
Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi. Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi.
Yo nadveshti na kankshati.
Yo nadveshti na kankshati. Yo nadveshti na kankshati.
Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi. Yo nadveshti na kankshati.
Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi. Yo nadveshti na kankshati. Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi. Yo nadveshti na kankshati.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Nidvantvo hi mahabaho.
Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho.
Sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
Next.
K. Lalita Bhagini.
Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi. Yo nadveshti na kankshati.
Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi. Yo nadveshti na kankshati. Nyeyasa nitya sanyasi. Yo nadveshti na kankshati.
Next.
Lalita Ramachandran Bhagini.
Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
Nirdvando hi mahabaho. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Yes.
First line 2 times.
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति.
Good. Next.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
Yes, sir.
Second line 2 times.
Nirdvanto hi mahabaho.
Dvantva means dualities in life. Okay. Sukha, dukkha is duality. Nirdvantva.
Nirdvantva.
Dvantva.
Nirdvanto hi mahabaho.
Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho.
Nirdvanto hi mahabaho. Sukham bantatya pramuchyate. Nirdvanto hi mahabaho. Sukham bandat pramuchyate.
Next.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
First line 2 times.
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Second line.
निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Both the lines.
Yes. Yeyas nitya sannyasi yo na द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते.
Nidvandvo. Okay. Yeah. Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
Both the lines.
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसंन्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते.
Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Both the lines.
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते.
So now, Bhagavan is telling, Jneyah, please know, Nitya Sansar, whoever is Nitya Sannyasi, Yaha, na dveshti, na kankshati. Those people have got no likes and dislike. Kankshati desires. They don't desire anything and they don't dislike anything. So they have already got to that level of maturity in terms of not longing for something and not having any kind of hatred for anything. That is raga dveshas. They already crossed raga dveshas, which is most important thing in terms of karma yoga also. So these people, when they take nitya sannyasi, if they are to be called, then they have to be understood as the people who have already crossed over dvesha and desires. Kama, raga, dveshas are all not there for him. And then nirdvantvaha, which means they are free from dualities of life. What are dualities of life? You have got happiness and sorrow. You have got pain and you have got success and failure. No, you have got everything. If you have birth and death, and you go up sometime, you come down sometime. If you look at life, life is always going to throw out dualities to us. Heat and cold, it's also another dualities. So these people are not going to be impacted by such kinds of things. A person who is not going to be impacted by karma pala, is accepting karma pala as a prasada, he is not going to bother whether what is going to happen is in line with what he wants or is not in line with what he wants. Whether success he is going to be happy or he is not going to be distressed with going to be defeated. So these people are absolutely free of dvandva, dualities of life. Then for those people, Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Bandhat pramuchyate means they will be able to get out of bondage effortlessly. Sukham in this case, effortlessly. Only those people will be able to come out of bondage effortlessly. So, don't think that you want to give up all these kinds of action and then you want to run away as sannyasi. No, 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 no. Nitya sannyasi means person who already overcome dveshta. There's no hatred, there's no desire, there is beyond dualities.
Sir, can't hear anything.
न श्रूयते महोदय.
Sir, is something wrong with the audio?
Somewhere a network problem, sir.
Looks like network problem.